after a near disaster.
Picture it. Sicily, 1928. Oh no, that's the Golden Girls. Picture it, 1978. A weekend in New Jersey coming up. What do you do after a near disaster? Let me tell you, this disaster started looming 3 weeks before it actually occurred. What was this disaster? Well, it wasn't supposed to be a disaster. It was a visit to New Jersey from San Francisco, that's where I lived at the time, to go to my niece's bas mitzvah, that's a confirmation in the Jewish religion, in a very, very lovely colonial inn in Morristown, New Jersey. What made this so complicated was the fact I had just started a new job. Now, I had just become, okay, people, are you ready for this? A COBOL programmer. They freeze them now, so in 10,000 years from now, when they need them, they can defrost them when there's some code that doesn't work. Need I digress? Lest I digress. I was brand new at this job, and I was less than a year experience in programming. And the company was Bechtel. Does anyone know who George Schultz's Bechtel is? Well, if I give you names like Dick Cheney and people like that, you kind of get the idea that it's an industrial, warlike engineering company, construction company. And George Schultz was the president at the time. Now, I went from a very casual environment, both at Fireman's Fund Insurance, and then to a maritime company where I was expected to do programming, and I did. Now we get to Bechtel, very militaristic. They didn't want me to take, all I wanted was one extra day, Friday, to go back east. And they put up a big fight about one day, because there was a deadline. And the deadline wasn't months away, it was weeks away. So they put up a big fight. I finally got permission, as long as I was back at work on Monday at 9 or 8, whenever we started. Good. Who remembers travel agents? In those days, you used travel agents to make your plans. So in order for me to get there on time, I had to leave Thursday night at midnight on an all-nighter, or what do they call them? The
Red eye.
Red eye. Okay, my first time too. First mistake I made was the plane was leaving at 1:45 on Thursday. So because I pictured Friday night in my mind, I made a reservation for Friday night, not for Thursday night. And I only found this out 2 days before I was supposed to leave. Thank goodness for travel agents. He finally got me on a flight that left on Thursday night, and I arrived at 5:30 a.m. at Newark Airport on Friday morning. Okay, that was my plan. My plan was also to take ground transportation to New York, because I wasn't expecting anybody to pick me up at 6 a.m. So ground transportation didn't start until 6. We were off the plane and into the airport at 5:30. So I casually walked over to the United Airlines ticket counter, decided to make a seat reservation for my trip back. Oh, Mr. Grossman, didn't anybody tell you your flight was canceled? All the DC-10s were grounded. No, no one told me. Now I have to be back on Monday, and now I have no flight back. So I said to them, is there a flight on Sunday? Or even on Monday? No, no flights. She did tell me, I don't know if that was a smart thing, or that United was obligated to get me back somehow. But with no seats available, I couldn't get back. So here I am, I get into New York City, I go to the New York, to a United Airlines travel store, whatever they call them. Nope, they couldn't help me either. I went on the rest of the weekend, the rest of the day, knowing on the top of my mind that this was a make or break situation. So I finally get to New Jersey where my family is, explain the situation. I was on the phone, I can't tell you how many times, with United trying to find a flight. Well, this was just Newark, New Jersey. Don't forget there's Kennedy Airport too. But if anyone remembers that time in the 1970s, there was a gas shortage. No one had enough gas to get me to Kennedy Airport, so that wasn't an option. It was just like here, if everyone remembers getting in line and only being able to get gas on certain days, it was just as bad there. So, found out my cousin, who lives in Long Island, was coming to the Bas Mitzvah. That opened up Kennedy Airport. I get on the phone again. Nope, no flight. So then I decided, get smart. Call United again, and don't tell them about your problem. Just ask them if they have a seat to New York, to San Francisco. Yes, sir, we do. One seat left in first class. I said, I'll take it. Then I told her about my situation, and then I get placed on hold. What do you think happened? Somehow they found a seat in coach. Magically, they found this seat in coach. Okay, do you think the story is over?
No!
We get to the Bas Mitzvah, having a really good time in this beautiful colonial hotel. And I'm getting ready to leave with my cousin. And I had a bag with my airline ticket, my driver's license, credit cards, checkbooks, and any way of identifying myself was stolen at the event. Are we doing this again? No. We decided, my mother, in her infinite wisdom, gave my cousin some money so she could go in and buy me the ticket. See, I had the reservation now. All I needed was a ticket. So my mother gave her the money, she went in and bought me the ticket. Now, it is now 20 minutes before flight time, and I am getting on this plane. Open the door, greeted by the stewardesses, and I walk into a 747 that's 3/4 empty. 3/4 empty. So, after I sit down, buckle my belt, watch the sign, we take off, and I said, after this weekend, what do I do? What do I do? So after the no seatbelt sign came off, I got up and I looked around the few people in this section of the plane and said, who is likely to have a joint? So I found someone. He will. I walked over to him, I said, sir, do you happen to have anything? Yeah, but where can we smoke it? I said, don't worry, I'll take care of this. So I went to the stewardess and I said, what would you do if you found someone on the plane smoking a joint? She said, well, we only lighted materials or cigarettes. However, if we don't see you, and then she looked towards the back of the plane, which is completely empty. And in fact, if anyone's been on a 747, you can see the horizon before you see the end of the plane. So, we saw the plane curving towards the end, and she said, if we don't see you, we flew back, flying high over the U.S. This is what you do when you have had a near disaster. Mr. Toastmaster.